this is Annie's _VW on Instagram, a little bit on YouTube now, just mostly with the engine disassembly. So thank you for coming and watching. As you can see, I've already got it in a state of disassembly already. I kind of dove in and I didn't really want to start the video until I kind of got partway through it. So I'll jump back and I'll show you the disassembly that I've done. I've got that on video. And then I'll show you some things that I've discovered as I've gone along, and then you'll just follow along as I kind of take apart the rest of the engine. Yeah, so far so good. Having fun, that's the most important thing. And yeah, we'll just keep going from here. So anyways, yeah, so keep watching. We'll take this engine apart. We'll maybe try and figure out why it won't turn and why it won't, it's kind of seized, and we'll go from there, take the whole thing apart, then hopefully we'll put it back together and we'll have an engine that's going to run. I'm not really a budget build, but I do want to save money, so I'm going to try and reuse as much as I can, but obviously I'll replace the things that need to be replaced. I won't go so far as, you know, a questionable item, but yeah. Let's dig in. Just looking here, is that a lot of buildup right there? I can't really tell. Well, I mean, I can tell, but is that, like that was nearly, like does that vents down into here, doesn't it? Or something? I assume that's bad. I think that is not good. I also think that this is put on wrong. It's supposed to be that way. You know, like, right? Like I've seen in pictures. Oh, come on. Like that. Is that the right way? So either that way or that way. I'll put it like that for now. Quickly go over what I've already done. Obviously I've taken off the engine cooling tin, generator, fan shroud, all that sort of stuff. I've kind of gotten it as far as I could. I just want to go over a couple things. Pretty gunky and greasy, wet down there. So I wonder if maybe I'm leaking maybe here somewhere. Down in here, also pretty, like I don't know if that's normal. It's quite wet and greasy. I don't know if that's normal at all. I'm not sure how clean that needs to be, but it's very, very dirty down in there. Same with back here. Very dirty, wet, greasy kind of deal. Which I suppose is to be expected. I mean, who knows when the last time this has been rebuilt or anything like that. So that could all be just be expected. Same thing down here. Super just, oily, dirty. Don't know how clean that should be down there. I haven't opened these up yet, but we'll get to all that. Overall, things went pretty well. I'm missing some cooling tin. I haven't taken this off yet, but that goes down and around. missing the one over there. And then that was all that was down there. Like I think there's got to be one that comes around this way, and there's no deflector plate up there. So I'm definitely missing some engine tin. And so I've got a lot of engine tin that is all in really good shape still. This one's looking a little bit rough. But all the stuff that was up on top was in really good shape. I was missing the piece that I think goes behind here. But we'll get that all figured out. I've got some ideas for maybe some improvements to the engine tin that I've seen. It's kind of all over here. When I get to, you know, flywheel and clutch assembly, clutch parts, that sort of thing, I'll do an inspection. They all look in pretty good shape. I mean, I don't know exactly what to look for other than just if it's worn down too much. I think it's about 8 mil. I'll have to see. Everything else doesn't look like it's wearing unevenly or anything. But again, I don't know precisely what I'm looking for yet. This shroud's in good shape. I'll take the generator off. I will try and clean that up, refurb it probably. See what the inside fan's like. I'm thinking about spending a little bit of extra money and taking all my tins in to get media blasted so I can repaint them. I just think that's going to be an easier option. This is pretty grimy on the inside too. Exhaust, we're not using that one, so no big deal. I think I'm gonna try and make these heater boxes work. They're pretty rusty right down in here. See how that's like that. But I'm gonna try and do something and make that work. It's worth the effort to just give it a go, save some money. I'm not exactly a budget build, but I do want to be fairly economic in my spending. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna continue with the tear down. I don't have my little engine stand yet, so I kind of threw that one on. So we'll get to the point where I'll need to split the case and I'll have to switch that out. But other than that, everything's super just caked with dirt. Wouldn't believe just how much I've knocked off and swept up under it. Pretty nasty. Pretty dirty. But yep, that's where we're at. So far, so good, I think. Nothing really wacky. Missing 10. 10. Oh yeah, we're 10. Okay. I don't want to turn this over yet. I'm sure there's an easier way for me to do that. Just worried about oil coming out somewhere that I don't want it. So that's why I'm not turning it right now. Gonna take the whole stud out. It's okay. Let's see how easy this will come off. Whoa. There we go. That's like peanut butter. And no wonder it's probably been sitting for, eeeh! Yeah, looks like peanut butter. Yeah, really thick and sludgy. I'll get rid of that. needs to come out? Oh yeah. How does that come out? One. Go. Come on. All right. Yep. Oh man, it's in rough shape. Get a new one of those. Okay, now what makes most sense to me now is I'll just let that oil drain just a little while longer. And I'll try and take off some other things like the oil cooler. Yeah. So let's do the oil cooler. Let's see, what's my guess here? Looks like 10. Booyah. This oil cooler looks pretty old. And I'll show you it's got the VW stamp on it, so it may be original. We can maybe do an upgrade there, I'm thinking. Refresh that. Since this overheated, maybe we can help the situation. Can I take this out before I split the case? I'm gonna try. Get that out of there. Open that to where the fuel pump thing goes. Boy, I really hope that the case is good. Those look pretty squished, pretty dry. Pretty dry at the ends. Here's our oil cooler. VW stamp. Would that be original? Maybe not original to this, but an original part. I don't know what the presumed age is. I would think I'd probably want to replace that. But it'll go in the parts bin until I know for sure. I always like to keep all my hardware together. You're probably the same way. That way I don't forget where it goes. Okay, what do we got here? 13? Booyah. Let's see what's down in here. Let me get you closer. Right in the action. So this is where the fuel pump would go. But obviously no fuel pump there because this one was converted to electric fuel pump. But I'm gonna go back to the original so long as I can. So let's just look and see. Hey, look at that. That's not broken or anything. I can reuse that. There's original, even original VW part. Beaut. Absolute beaut. Now I want to take the distributor off. I don't know why, just because I think maybe I can at this point. I've seen some people do the distributor on when they're assembling while the cases are still in two halves, and I've seen them install the distributor while the halves are together. Do you have a preference? What do you like to do? I will probably just do whatever feels easy at the time. So we'll see, but maybe you've got an opinion as to why you do one or the other. Drop it in the comments and let me know. Whoop. All right, so that busted, no problem. I've actually only had a couple bolts bust on me, so that's actually, I'd say that's pretty good. Another 13. It's got a funny washer on it. Probably not for any other reason other than it's just got a funny washer on it. All right, well that's turning. I assume I just pull this straight out. Oh, you know what? I could look down in there and maybe see what's going on. Let's have a peek. Oh yeah, I mean it's got some, oh yeah, there's definitely some like brass flakes down in there that I can see. See if I can get one. There's one kind of hard to see, but oh yeah. So definitely my assumption is it probably, I don't know, got hot and seized and started grinding the gears in there. And now it's seized. Okay. I'll probably clean this up and use it again. We'll try anyways. I'll try and see. Anyways, to the parts bin. And then there's a little spring in there. Does that come out right now? Oh, yep, there it is. That gear thing in there is also original VW. I'm gonna try and put that somewhere safe, I guess. Oh shoot. What do I name it? Distributor spring thingy. If I'm one thing, I'm very organized. And I'm even gonna put this all in here so I know it all goes together. Maybe overkill, but it sure saves a lot of time in the long run. Especially for me, I've never done this before. So I gotta stay on top of things. Does that thing come out? Ooh, I think I can get it out. I can, but the question is, should I? I think I'll just leave it. Let's turn this a little bit. I'm gonna get after this side, see if I can get the head off and then the pistons off. And gosh, it's dirty. Holy cow. Alright, so I talked in my last video about the case being manufactured in '71, and that was a year where they had dual port exhaust. There's a single port exhaust head. So I'm curious to know if I can find a number on the inside that tells me a little bit more about these heads and what engine they were manufactured for, and if this will be a suitable head to keep on this engine. So I'm going to try and keep as much as I can. That's the goal. Okay, whoa! That's a lot of rust on those. Holy cow. Look at that. Look at that. That's a ton of rust. Okay, let me just get you a little bit closer. You can have a close look. So that's what we're looking like. Nothing looks broken off anywhere. All right, let's take the rocker arms off, pull the rods. We'll go from there. I think it's just these two, right? Those two, and that takes that off. What do you think here? 13 maybe? Yep. right. Hard to know until I clean these up what the these little guys, if those are worn, if I need to replace those. These little cups look pretty good. I don't know, probably a totally reusable part. But once I get it sort of cleaned up, then I'll know for sure. That. Yeah, I'll take it all apart, everything, clean the whole thing up. I don't know, I think we'll try and reuse that. I don't think there's any reason not to unless there's visible wear, right? Now I assume that I will probably want to replace the rods. I mean, is that something that one would typically do in an engine rebuild? Although they look in pretty good shape. I've seen people like to keep track of where they go and others don't. I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, there's that number I was looking for. I'm gonna get my book and find out more about these heads. Yeah, I'd say these rods probably are in pretty good shape. Reuse them if I can. So I've got 2 books here. Gonna look up some information about the head in this one. I want to know when it's been manufactured. I'm gonna look up some torque specs. These are 2 really good books to have, by the way. All right, so here we are, cylinder heads. So the one that should be with this case, the cylinder head number should start with 113. This one starts with 311. So that is from the single port. Oops. That's from the single port 1500, 1600, manufactured 67 to 70. So the one highlighted was the one that was supposed to be matched with the case that I've got. But it's not, so no problem, that's fine. I think that'll be okay. It's not so far off or anything like that. I'm gonna try and reuse this. Now, since I'm a novice, I don't know very much. The advantage of a dual port versus a single port. So if you have an opinion on that, I'm quite happy to hear it. If you've got a really good reason why I should go to dual port, I'm willing to listen. But if you've got an opinion about whether or not I should upgrade these, if that's even an upgrade to dual port, let me know. Otherwise, I'd really like to reuse what I've got. I kind of like to keep the cost down, and who knows, maybe in 5 years I'll want to take it all apart again and do something else. But for now, I'm going to try and keep it the way it is. So the next thing I do before I take these heads off is I had some advice from Brent at Haptic Garage. He said, torque these down, your cylinder head nuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He said, torque those down before you pull everything off, because then you'll know whether or not you're going to pull one of these rods out. I thought that was really good advice. Better to know now than down the road. So thanks for that. I'm going to do that right now. Bentley manual says 23 foot-pounds, but do your own research. Don't hold me to that. I'm just doing what I read. So let's torque those down first. All these. And I'm not going to do it in the right pattern, because I don't know if that matters right now. What is it? Kind of crisscross. Maybe I will. But let's torque those down, and then we'll loosen them up, and we'll see if any of them get pulled out, because that'll be a job to fix, I guess. These are 10 millimeter studs, or whatever you want to call them, not 8. 15. Looks good. Okay, that one's good. Well, that one needed to go a little bit, so that was good, I think. 1, 2. Okay. So those have been torqued. Let's see what happens when we pull everything out. Let's try this one. Wonder if I can make this go faster. Let's see if that works. Woo. Get my washers off. And how easy do you think this will be to get off? Is there a rounded side and a flat side to these? Look at that. There is. Although these are definitely been put on willy-nilly. Some are flat side to it and some are round side to it. My feeling is flat side to the head is the way to go. All right, let's have some fun. Don't want to break anything. It's moving. Whoop. See? Don't hit there. Bent that thing. Don't do that. Do's and don'ts. Don't hit that. Yeah, bad idea. No problem. Come on now. Come on. What do you think? There we go. Woo! Check it out. Maybe I'll put this over on the bench and we'll go have a look. Pretty gross. Lots of, let's see, like carbon-y buildup. But to be fair, when I first got this engine, I did put a whole bunch of Marvel Mystery Oil down in here. But still, that's a lot of junk. Now, I don't know much about the what and why. So, why is it so dirty? Is it just because it's probably not been, you know, taken apart in a long time? I don't know what that's from. Probably replace those just because that seems like a logical thing to replace. Okay, let's go look at the heads. The head, I should say. So super gungy. Probably shouldn't do that. Lots of buildup. Oh, I know what that little thing was from. A little thing caked up on that. I don't know what that is. These little knobby things. What are those little knobby things for? There's a knob here, a knob there, a knob here. Is that normal? Or should that be flat? I wonder. Pretty dirty, pretty grungy, just a ton of stuff in there. Ah, so much stuff, it's making me sneeze. There's that number there, VW part. 67 to 70 for the 1500, 1600. So this will still work for the 1600 is my guess. All right, so that's that. All right, let's work on getting these cylinders off. You know, I'll be really curious to know if once we get the heads and the cylinders off, whether or not the crankshaft will start moving it again. If we're stuck here, you know, if the pistons are stuck in the cylinders and that's why it's not moving, or whether we've got a problem inside. Either way, I gotta crack the case, but be curious to know if maybe that would happen or not. So because I'm probably gonna replace these, I'm not too worried about banging them up too much. So I'm just gonna try and knock them off. Well, maybe they are in pretty good shape. Maybe they just need someone to love them. And maybe I can be that person. I don't know. Maybe we can bring these back to life. Those look rough. Maybe those are in okay shape. I'll really have to... What's your opinion on that? If I'm doing a rebuild and I have kind of budgeted in new cylinders, is that just as easy to get new cylinders and new pistons and do that? Because I've kind of budgeted that in, because I assumed that I would need new or refurb. You tell me. Let's see if anything will move. Oh, it's still stuck. But I can get this one out. I can't get that one out. Got these little clippy clips. I'll hang on to these. Even though I think if I get new pistons and such, they'll probably come with replacements. Whoop, there it goes. Just feels gritty all around this. Gritty right here. Probably in these little, ooh, one of those is just right caked with stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Is that inside there? Oh, great. Because that is definitely, oh man, that's most definitely a break. That was not notched like that. Oh, just great, right? So that's, oh, look at that. It's moving. Look at that. We got movement. Can I turn it though all the way? I'm going to try and turn it so this comes out. That's troublesome. I sure hope it hasn't done just all kinds of damage inside the case. So let's remember this was from number 4. That was from number 4. Right there. All right, so now that there's a little bit of movement there, I'll throw something on there and see if I can turn it and get this out far enough. Now you can get that piston off as well. Give that a go. So it's only moving like, well, nothing. It's not moving at all. Should I take these out? Is there any reason to take these out? I'm not going to do that until I know for sure. But I feel like there's probably absolutely, I mean, if they're not pulling out, like I'd want to keep those in, right? I'm going to have new hardware for all this, but I don't like to throw anything away until I for sure have the replacement that I need or want. I don't see it yet. Maybe that's from an old, maybe that piston was from another engine and they just threw it in here. Possibilities are endless. I'm not sure that thermostat will slide out between there. Well, that's looking a lot better than the other side. Yeah, that's looking better than the other side. There's definitely some wear on these. I mean, just kind of oily in there, but not rusty like the other side. Whoop! All right, pulled one of those. There it is. Okay, threads are still on it though. Get that back in there. Okay, that was unexpected, but expected. We got it. That slid off pretty easy. All right, let's get this thing off. Whoa! All right, let me get that one off and I'll show you what I found on that piston. Trouble. All right, let's see if we can get this piston off. Two little clippy clips. Cute little clippy clips. I think they're cute anyways. All right, two of those, we'll save them. All right, check that out. Pretty sure that's not supposed to be there either. Huh. Could that be why my engine seized? Well, not my engine, previous owner. That looks pretty gnarly. All right. Nasty. Let's see if this thing will turn at all now. I can get the other pistons out and see what shape they're in. busted that piston getting it out. So I guess I'm for sure gonna get some new cylinder heads. Not cylinder heads, cylinders. I think I gotta take that little thing off to get the thermostat off. Thermostat looks like it's in rough shape. I'll be surprised if this thing even works. But we'll clean it up and test it and see what happens. Cylinders. Alright, so that one's busted. That one's busted. Got all my other parts here. See if we can turn it and get the other two pistons out and see if they are busted as well. Wouldn't that be something? 4 for 4. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get these pistons off. Oh man, you know what? That is frozen. Ooh. Let me show you. That's as it should be. This one on the number 4. It turns the whole like it's frozen on there. It doesn't, because when I do this one, it doesn't turn the whole crankshaft. This one is like, it's frozen on there. Oh man. Should I try and take this arm off? What are these things called? Why is that eluding me? Why can't I think of that? Anyway, should I take that whole piece off? I mean, other parts will fall in there. I think probably not. I'd just like for this to not be frozen on there. Like the bearing is stuck. Does that make sense? Capiche? I'll have to have a think about what I want to do next, if I want to really try and get these off or not. Oh, I can just, maybe just barely get those out. Oh. So I don't know, I think I'm gonna stop this video here for now. I feel like I've got a ton of video that I can string together. It'll be pretty long, but I'm gonna stop it here, and then on the next video what I'll do is that'll be cracking the case, opening everything up, and kind of an inspection of what's happening on the inside. After taking apart the cylinders and the heads and everything, getting that all off, I do have a better picture of what I think maybe has happened or what's gone wrong. Yeah, but that'll be for the next video. Thanks for watching so much. Comments if you notice anything that I've overlooked, or if you have any advice or things like that. I'm really receptive to any kind of advice or criticism or whatever. I'm a newbie at this, so you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you say I did it wrong, because I already know that I've probably done some of it wrong, or, you know, out of order, whatever. But there is more than one way to skin a cat, so as long as it ends up with an engine at the end, that's fine. So, yeah, thanks for watching. We're gonna end it here. Look out for the next one. It'll come out soon. And, yeah, this was a ton of fun. Hopefully, after inspecting some of the things, I'll have a better idea of what I need, and then get it back together and hopefully running. All right, thanks.